So it's nice.
Very good. Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming to our huddle. Becca is going to lead us this morning. And Becca, would you please take it away?
I would love to. Good morning, everyone. I can see quite a few faces. Hopefully there'll be some more coming up soon. So just like Paula said, one of the things that we wanted to find out from you guys is what are your wins this week? What are you taking away? What are you celebrating? So be thinking about that. And the topic, whatever, that I wanted to talk about was the one that I think a lot of people noticed, was the one about the hidden sugar, reading about the hidden sugar. And it was ironic because I was looking in a magazine, a free QFC magazine, and it came up with this just the other day. And I was thinking, how much sugar is there in things that we don't know about? So that's what I'm going to come to in a little bit, but I want to hear from you guys first. So is there anyone that is ready to share with us what is something that you are proud of this week? Something that you read or something that you thought about?
I'll go, Becca.
Thanks, Debbie.
I was busy substituting this week, and it was a very stressful week, which doesn't often happen, but there were a lot of things going on in the classroom. And I was reading that article on sugar, and they got a call to go to the teacher's room to celebrate. Well, one of the people are leaving, which is kind of sad, but good for them. Anyway, so I walked in, and there was no hidden sugar on that table. It was all out there in plain sight. But it was good because that was in my mind, and so there was a little bit of a quiche, and I took a half a piece of banana bread, and then I just walked out. And it kind of stayed there the whole day, but I stayed away from it. So that was an accomplishment. So I felt good about that.
Like that, definitely. Anybody else?
Well, at my work this week, it was also a busier week than usual. And during busy weeks in our plant, they always put out just tons and tons of food, like bagels in the morning, donuts. Usually during lunch, there'll be some form of bacon. And I was just really proud for staying away from all that. And not only that, but actually thinking to myself that I don't really want to eat this. Like before, I would have this intense craving, and, it would be really a struggle. But for some reason, just lately, I think I've had some sort of mindset change where, even looking at that food doesn't make me feel happy, or it doesn't make me feel like I want to eat it anymore. And so I think that's a huge thing for me.
I think that's great. I think sometimes that sudden awareness that's like, this is what I used to do and this is what I do now, it kind of stays with you. So keep that memory on those days where some of those choices are a little harder. Good job, Nancy. Anybody else?
Becca, I want to share about one of the other challengers who was not able to get on today, and she was just talking with me. She's been eating clean for about 5 to 6 days now with no white flour and no white sugar. And she said the biggest light bulb came on yesterday when she woke up and she had slept well and she wasn't aching. She has severe, inflammation and such. And she said, I had no idea that even a change this soon I would start to feel better. So she realized the correlation between what she was eating and how she felt in such a quick time. I think that was what was so shocking to her. So,
yeah. I think often we kind of celebrate, this is my first week of doing this, or my first month, or my first year. And I think sometimes those little things that are just things you're not aware of until somebody points it out. So sleeping better is definitely one thing. And I love the little readings every day, the little one on sleep, and there's a little one on stress. And sleep and stress are my two big things that affect my eating. So last call for anyone on anything they are proud of.
Well, we've had
Two people. Tiana.
I'll share. Sorry, my computer's going to echo the whole time, so just roll with it. But this week, I really was focusing on exercise because I have not been making time for it, between just having a baby and then pregnancy. It's been a long time since I've really done some good exercise. And so each day of the week, I set aside time either for like a hard walk or like a little workout video where I use some of the videos that we had in the challenge, as well as a couple things I had on my own. And I'm like, my arms are sore and my tush is sore, and it just feels so good to know that I'm like getting back in the swing of things and that I did it every day. So I'm really glad to be moving forward in that.
Cool. That's a great goal. Peg, did you have something?
Yeah, my husband and I have been doing our own program, and a couple weeks ago we were really weak and feeling lousy, achy, and all that. And so I started searching for what my problem was and came across this sheet that one of the readings from September on that you should have up to 100 grams of protein and, you know, the different things of what you should have. And the light bulb just came on. I know I read that last time, but it didn't. In fact, I found it on my refrigerator. So I thought it was important at the time, but it just, you know, I just let it go. And so we've been eating a lot more protein. We haven't gotten to 100 grams yet, but we've been eating a lot more and balancing our food a lot better. And so we're just feeling so much better. We've got the energy back, and so it's one of those light bulb things. You know, you should have known, but you didn't take to heart. So.
The woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm hearing from everyone that shared so far, and I think Gloria wanted to in a moment, is that mindfulness. Tiana said she knew she needed to get back to exercise, or Peg said she knew she needed to eat more protein. And so it's choices we're making. Gloria, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yes, what I was thinking was the challenge about doing. I think it was just that Tiana asked me, "What's my goal for this week?" And I was like, I don't know. I guess I don't really have one, but I got one real fast, and I was challenged by the exercise ball. You know, the Casey Mitchell, that one. And so I have been doing my 20 to 30 minutes a day sitting on the exercise ball. And I don't know if it's my imagination or not, but I just feel my core just strengthening, you know, just from that bit of time that I'm not just a blob, you know, I'm concentrating more on my stature, like that, the one of the S's that he said. So that's just exciting. I'm just pumped. And I have some achiness from that too, just from that, you know, it's just like that doesn't even seem like exercise. So go for it if you're interested.
Anybody else have an exercise ball they're willing to sit on for 20 minutes a day? Yeah.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
And an easy one.
Yes.
Sitting down for 20 minutes a day might be hard for some people, but sitting on an exercise ball, it's super, super easy.
Right.
Okay, so I put together a teeny tiny PowerPoint just because I started reading up about what sugars there were, and I've never shared a screen on Zoom, so bear with me. And it works. Okay, one moment. So can you see that picture?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's barbecue sauce. I have jars of it in my fridge. I really should throw them out. And those ribs, kind of this time of year, I think people may be tailgating and Super Bowl parties. There are 13 grams of sugar in every 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce.
Ugh.
So 3 packets of sugar if you're looking at it that way. So 13 grams just in the barbecue sauce. Fruit yogurt. Yogurt's healthy, right? Fruit yogurt is one of the biggest sugar bombs on the shelves, and the low-fat, fat-free yogurts have more sugar than anything. And it tastes like dessert because it really is a dessert. We've got 5 packs of sugar in that one. Chinese takeout. It's Friday. We're tired. It's easy. You go get takeout. 13 grams of sugar for every, no, wrong page. Sorry, 90 grams of sugar for that sweet and sour chicken. That's going to give us 5 there. Pasta sauce. I used to always make my pasta sauce, but now I actually buy it more often than not because I'm just tired. But it's just veggies, right? But the bought pasta sauce, and this is where the process comes in, 12 grams of sugar for every half a cup. So half a cup of spaghetti sauce. And because you digest it really rapidly, then that spikes that insulin a lot quicker. So homemade spaghetti sauce, I can post a recipe. It's super easy. If you've got a pressure cooker, it takes no time. Everybody's favorite one to say, I need to give up soda. 29 grams per 8-ounce can. And those are the teeny tiny cans, not the big cans, the teeny tiny cans. 29 grams for 8 ounces. And the diet sugars, the diet ones are just as bad in a different way. Agave. So who turns to agave? Because it's not sugar. Correct, it is not sugar. It is healthy, but it's 85% fructose, which is apparently, they say, even more damaging than cane sugar, which is all sucrose. The fructose is metabolized almost exclusively by your liver, which is hard work. So we're just going to give that one packet of sugar, but it's not as great as you think. Who reaches for a handful of dried fruit? Sounds healthy, but dried fruit is kind of like candy in a way. 1/3 of a cup. So get your little measuring cups out and think what 1/3 of a cup is. 24 grams of sugar. I am very guilty of reaching for a handful of raisins. So guilty that I don't even have them in the house anymore for that very reason. And most brands actually list sugar as the second ingredient. I'm saying not everybody eats gummy worms. That's why one sweet thing that I love, 44 grams of sugar for every 10 gummy worms.
Ew.
Yes, definitely. Granola bars. Healthy, right? They're in that health food section in the grocery store. They're not only made of whole grain oats. One bar can have 12 grams or more of sugar. So check the sugar on your granola bars. And the last one, energy drinks. You're going to get a little wired. This isn't just for Red Bull. It's for a variety of them because they have a lot of caffeine in them, but also sugar. Some of them will have 83 grams of sugar. There is my biggest sugar bomb for you guys. So, little bit of things to think about. I have to figure out how to stop sharing. Okay, now I'm back. Little scary. Any thoughts on that one?
That was awesome, Becca.
Thank you.
It was, I love the little packets because when they just add up, and I can't remember from the reading how much sugar is recommended a day. Does anybody remember that from the reading?
They suggest reducing your intake to 5%, roughly 25 grams or 6 teaspoons.
Okay. That's a good thing to keep in mind. I think what is a healthy amount. So
Yes.
Thanks for that PowerPoint. That was very telling.
I like the little pictures when you can see the sugar. It makes you think.
Yes.
Becca, in regards to that, I just find it interesting that the manufacturers put sugar in so many things, and it just adds to the addiction factor. And, even the buns at the fast food hamburger, we are all saying, okay, we know we shouldn't, but why shouldn't we? Or why is a Happy Meal not the best for our children even and such? Because of so much added sugar in even the buns on purpose, Yeah.
And people do get a sugar addiction because you're used to things tasting sweet. And that's one thing for some of the meal replacements on our program is when I first started, they were a little sweet for me. And then I went straight to the ingredient list, and it wasn't added sugar that was making them sweet. But processed foods, I was talking to someone just the other day about eating fresh foods rather than processed foods. And we were talking about the sodium content. So that's a whole nother PowerPoint, is looking at the sodium. So my question before we head out is, Gloria talked about her goal. Tiana asked her for her goal, and she came up with a goal and she met it. So what are people's goals for this week? I can start with mine. One of my goals is I'm going to focus more on cooking dinner. I made chili last night for dinner, and I think it was the first time I've actually cooked a meal in a little while. We're just busy people and not both at home for dinner at the same time. So my goal is to eat more real foods and home-cooked foods that I know exactly what the ingredients are. So I'm starting you off. That's my goal.
Well, my goal is just for thinking about tomorrow for Super Bowl. Last year, I started my health journey on January 11th. And during the Super Bowl party, I basically sat in front of the TV and just stayed away from all of the food. And I felt like I had a lot of strength in doing that. And so I need to remember that tomorrow as I watch the game tomorrow. And I mean, I love football and I love the Seahawks. And the past couple of games, I found myself being so stressed about the game. I'm getting up and I'm going to the table and eating. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's not what I need to do. Obviously, I'm going to bring one of our recipes that Paula has been posting and other people have posted that is a little bit healthier. But just focusing on the friends and having my water bottle in my hand all the time and enjoying the game and go Seahawks because it's exciting.
And I think maybe we all find a young child or a cat or something to sit on our lap for the last quarter, because that's when it gets the most stressful, and that's when we're jumping up and down to go to the kitchen. So find a reason to stay put for that last quarter. No running for snacks. Paula.
Becca, would you, well, actually, I'd like to turn it to Tiana, but I know that last year, right before Super Bowl, there were some ideas going around of what to do during commercials or if there was a touchdown, and just to almost make it a game for your whole environment that we kept our bodies moving. And it brought an awareness to health and, so what, and then maybe when we win, we all run out for a celebratory walk. But Tiana, do you remember those topics? Or
I do. There were some things like, and I think you could probably make it up your own. It'd be fun if you want to do that at your house to make like a little poster so everybody knew. If you look on Pinterest, there's a lot of different ideas for different movies. So let's say like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or some of the major movies, they'll have like little workouts. So every time somebody says this line or every time, it's funny things, you do this certain exercise. So maybe for the football game, every touchdown we do 10 push-ups, or every pass interference we do 5 jumping jacks, or every time they call for a review of the play, we have to, do 10 squats. So things that are going to come up eventually, or probably, then you could do that. Or you could even, if you know the players well, frankly, I like football, but I haven't been as following this year. You could even do things like every time they mention this player over the commentators, you could even, utilize those things. We could do, tricep dips or walk over, like everybody get up and have to change seats or, something like that. So keep it really fun and light. And if you make it a game, like writing it up on a poster versus somebody feeling like you're just getting told each time, it's way more fun.
Great idea. Great idea. Anybody else?
I think I might have to bring my exercise ball.
I like that. I've just put up a poster. Sorry, I interrupted you, Debbie. This is one of my run groups, and I think this is kind of what Tiana was talking about.
Oh, nice.
So every time there's a field goal, we have 20 jumping jacks, and interception is 10 squats. So that's the kind of thing you were talking about, Tiana?
Becca, could you post that on our challenge wall today?
I can. I will check with my running coach that she doesn't mind, but I will definitely post it up there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is so cool. And then one of my goals, speaking of Super Bowl, is, so I'm on just like a clean eating maintenance plan, not the 5-in-1 plan. So I actually found a couple of weeks ago, they're dehydrated peas, and they taste like potato chips, but they have 5 grams of protein per serving. They aren't like even on the protein and carbs, but they're better. And so I'm going to take some of those in my bag so that I have a healthy, like crispy option, because that way I'm still moving forward and not feeling like I am, totally taking 3 steps back if I have something along those lines. So, because we're going to somewhere that isn't, it's not a home, we're watching actually at a movie theater. So it's a little bit of a different setup as far as I can't just bring, my healthy dip and veggies. It's a little bit more of an incognito mission. So I'm just excited to keep exercising, and we had a lot of sunny days. So every day that's sunny, I'm trying to really focus on getting outside for a walk or just being with people. So yeah.
You have to see how much you can pack into that giant diaper bag. Anybody else? Goals for the week?
Becca, I have a goal of being at the gym with a group class for 4 times each week, and then the other days to be walking. So I'm committing to my team here to hold me accountable to that.
Cool. It's definitely the weather. It's lighter in the morning, lighter in the evening. So getting outside is a great thing to do. Lots of vitamin D. Anybody else? Goals for the week?
No, I'm continuing to try and at least 4 days a week make sure I get in 10,000 steps. So I've got to get out today because I've had 3 days so far with the 10,000 steps, and I will get out today. So.
Yay. Okay, so Nancy, you had your microphone on. You wanted to say something?
Oh, sorry. There was just some background noise, so I didn't want to distract you guys. But I was thinking pretty hard about what I want my goal to be too. And I will also let you guys hold me accountable, but I'm going to try to exercise each day next week. So next week when we call in again, definitely ask me and I will be sure, hopefully, to say yes that I've done it. So
cool. Lots of active people.
Nancy, what do you like to do for exercise?
There is a Bari class that I'm starting, and it's just a really fun new thing that I've never really done before. So I'm actually kind of excited because, again, it'll be different than my usual routine. So hopefully I won't get bored, or I won't be bored just from walking on a treadmill, which I sometimes do. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Anyone?
All right, I will get the exercise machine assembled today.
Yes. It's on the floor in pieces in the garage. So cool. I want to play on it too. I want to play. So Paula, is there anything else that you want to add to this before we finish it up?
Well, I just wanted to maybe go over a few tips that we've been sent as coaches to help with our clients during holidays or big events. And I thought, you know what, let's just touch on them again. For some, it'll be the first time they've heard them, and others, it will be a reminder. And number 1, keep your water bottle with you at all times, and primarily in your dominant hand. Keeps you from reaching for the cookies and candy and the sweets, and also maybe even the high carbohydrate, nachos or something that can be really loaded with a lot. Number 2 is you may bring in some club soda or a diet soda. We aren't big proponents of that, but if that is a way that you can celebrate, then by all means, this is the time for diet Dr. Pepper or diet root beer or diet ginger ale or whatever. Volunteer to bring a salad or a relish tray, something that is healthy. That ensures that you have choices when you get there. Even if your hostess said, "Oh no, I've got it covered." Let's just do it as a gesture, and we know we're safe that way. Make sure that we eat before we go, a nice healthy lean and green, so that we aren't hungry. That's when we get into trouble and we make poor choices when we go in so hungry. Then if you are on your health journey, and which we all are that are on the health challenge, make sure that we're using our stop, challenge, and choose. Yes, even in Super Bowl day, because you know what? Life is always about exceptions. Oh, I was really great, except I had a wedding, except it was my anniversary. Oh, it was my mom's birthday. It was my dad's birthday. It was a party at work. So we know that these type of celebrations are a constant part of our life, and we still need to just enjoy them, but enjoy them in moderation. And then offer to help with cleanup. Not part of the food cleanup, but maybe the dishes if you're, hopefully on Super Bowl you're keeping it simple and it's about maybe paper plates and such. But depending on that, just be part of cleaning up the living room or your guests' a party room that isn't about putting away the food that you might be tempted to nibble and put it away and scrape it and lick the spoon. And just some tips that we have kept in mind. And if you are going to have water or sparkling or bubbling water, you know what? Serve it in a wine glass with ice cubes, and put a couple cranberries or a lime in it, so that you don't feel like you're being deprived, right? So it's all about creating our own way of celebrating. And yeah, that's just kind of some tips I wanted to leave you with, Becca.
Cool. I like the concept of you're making the water important. You're focusing on what you are having and not what you can't have.
Yes.
And I think for a lot of people, when they're being mindful about what they're eating, they're spending the time thinking, I can't eat this and I can't eat this and I can't eat that. Let's focus on the things you can. So Peg was talking about the protein, working on it, with protein, it's thinking about what you can eat. Cool. Well, we're a little short on half an hour, but I think, Paula, anybody else to add before we finish this up? I think good week. Go Hawks. I never was really into the Seahawks. Obviously football is what you play with your feet. And in the summer, I was coming back from California, and there was a real life Seahawk on the plane. And I was with my coach, who's a big Seahawk fan. And ever since then, I've discovered this love for the Seahawks. So I think you can't avoid it if you live in the Pacific Northwest. So go Hawks.
All right. Everyone have a
Paula,
great.
can you stay on for a little bit?
Yes. I will stop the recording and